I want to talk to you about the charity TRWL. We set the charity up 19 years ago because we felt there was an opportunity to work with churches that exist in the former Soviet Union. And over the last 10 years in particular, we've just been absolutely blessed by the opportunities God has given us. We've been able to support the church locally by paying pastor salaries. We've been able to bring children over for respite visits. We've even been able to send UPVC windows from a block of flats that was being demolished next door. But what I'd like to talk to you about now is the work we've been doing with a local church which runs a rehab centre in Belarus. For the last 4 years, this rehab centre has been working with men who are alcoholic, almost always homeless, typically will have broken marriages behind them, in fact have nothing, literally nothing, no paperwork, nothing. And the church has been working with these men, and in the last 4 years, around 45 of those men have gone through the entire program, and I'm delighted to say that at least half of them have given their hearts to the Lord. And remember that most of these would have had no church background prior to this. And you know what? We still, almost every week, get reports of how God is continuing to transform these men's lives.
I used to drink really hard in the past. Now I have been through the rehab course, and I thank God for keeping me alive. At last I found the Lord. I used to be a drunkard and homeless and spend my nights sleeping in basements. Now I serve the Lord in the rehab center. Unfortunately, one day Yura started drinking heavily, and it turned into the greatest trial for us. I shed so many tears, and my heart sinks when I think about it again. It was very difficult and scary, but I give all the praise and glory to the Lord because He has been with me at all times. I felt His support in every situation. I had a phone call from the rehab center in Puchovichi. There was a vacancy there, and I made up my mind and I told myself I'm going to Puchovichi. Other people said they didn't care about him, nobody wanted him, but it was in Puchovichi, in the rehab center, where Yura found true love from Jesus, which he saw in other people. I have a deep regard for people in the rehab center who helped me so much. It was through the rehab center that the Lord brought back my husband, my Yurochka, and I'm so pleased to see him back again. And this is my real husband now, who is filled with God's Spirit. I really know it as his wife. We're happy because we're together and Jesus is with us. There can't be greater happiness than that.
You know, as a charity, we feel we're at something of a crossroads now as we decide how we work with the church and with the rehab centre in the future. And we are very much at a crossroads. And if we want to continue this work, then do you know what? We need people like you. Nothing of what you've seen today would have been possible without people that have supported us. So if something you've seen today has touched your heart, we would just love to talk to you about how we can continue this work.